hanging out with my pal Tommy Rant right here. What's up? Now, I heard a little rumor from Strictly Business, Brandon Beretta, that you snore.
What?
That's what he told me.
First off, if that bus is paying attention to me while I'm sleeping, that ain't strictly business. That's strictly weird.
That's kind of weird, right?
I ain't about that. Where'd you hear that from him? Her?
From him.
Her. Yeah. Listen, Buster. Listen, Chooch. You got my number. You know the time. Slime time.
Careful, Brandon Beretta is really good at suplexing big fat asses, so he might get you back, but you've been losing weight, so.
You look great.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, thank you, Tommy Red and Slimeball Sage over there.
Yo, they call me Dank, the lyrical titan. Stepping in the ring, spitting fire, igniting. From the square circle to the booth, I'm dominant. Unbreakable spirit, call me the king, I'm prominent. Beyond the barricade, the podcast bumping. Real talk, no gimmicks, ain't no time for slumping. Grinding day and night, always something to prove. Elevating the game, that's the Dank move. Mic check 1, 2, this ain't no illusion. Dropping truth bombs, causing a commotion. From the canvas to the charts, I'm climbing. Champion mindset, always shining. Resolute, run deep, and still the fight. Never back down, always standing upright. In the ring or on the track, same intensity. Delivering knockout blows lyrically. 1, 2, this ain't no illusion. Dropping truth bombs, causing a commotion. From the canvas to the charts, I'm climbing. Champion mindset, always shining.
Whoops, the loop kicked in. Welcome to Beyond the Barricade. I'm your host, Papa Dank. And my podcast was interrupted before due to some technical difficulties, which I fixed already. So let me bring on my next very special guest, the one, the only Insane Dane. What's up, brother?
There, how are you? Thank you for having me on.
Hey, man, thank you for coming on, man. I had the loop on and playing the intro again. All right, let's go over some upcoming events this weekend. We have Union City Wrestling over here. You're going up against Dylan Blake. Tell me how this match came about.
Yeah, so Union City has been on my radar now for some time. I've been traveling all over the world from California to Vegas to Tennessee. So I had my usual route of Tennessee promotions that I work with, but Union City was just kind of on my radar. I haven't had the chance to debut there yet. So this Saturday I'll be debuting against Dylan Blake. So just kind of match up that they threw together and hopefully make some magic.
All right, make sure everybody gets their tickets for this event coming up. And then New Blood is coming up. What's going on here?
Yeah, so on Sunday we have Next Generation Wrestling, so NGW. All the biggest stars are usually there. You got everybody from Danny Moe to Matt Cross. They're so small, but yeah, there's quite a few stars on there. I know we have some WID people coming on. It's a show that also has been on my radar for some time. On Sunday, I'm going to be a referee, so I'm going to be trying out something different than my wrestling, but we'll see how that goes as well.
All right, so let everybody know how you fell in love with professional wrestling.
Oh, man. I fell in love with professional wrestling. I started watching it on TV growing up, like most people. And I think like as I got older, I still enjoyed it. But I just started working like the 9 to 5 and kind of getting lost in that life. So I kind of got away from it a little bit. I just started getting more into video games and things like that. And then once I started to want to find like a direction in life, I came through an advertisement for Santino Brothers Wrestling in California, and I fell in love with it all over again.
Okay, and let us know where you went to go train to be a wrestler, and who your trainers during that initial training.
Yeah, so I've been trained a little bit by everybody. So I started off with Santino Brothers Wrestling back in 2019. I went over to Vegas where I trained with Future Stars of Wrestling. So I had the pleasure of being trained by Simbodi, TJ Perkins, Remy Marcel, Cody Hancock, Kenny King. They're all over there. We've also had people like D'Lo Brown and Jake Snake Roberts drop by. From there, I went over to Tennessee. And then when I was in Tennessee, I was trained by Dr. Tom Pritchard. I've also had time spent with like Natalia and Ricky Steamboat, who had come through there.
Wow.
And from there, I went back to California and then I trained with New Japan. I did beginners and advanced course just to kind of get as much training as I could.
Right.
And I just graduated that this year. So I'm back at Santino Brothers right now. So yeah, it's been a little bit of everything.
Wow, that's a lot of training by a lot of people, a lot of good people too, man. I heard Dr. Tom Pritchard's training is really tough.
Yeah, definitely. I would say it's up there with New Japan, with Santino Brothers, some of the toughest wrestling training for sure.
All right. And what did you learn from Natalia? What did she teach you? Or Nadia?
Yeah, Natalia was great. It was everything from just like confidence, but also like social media and marketing and just presentation and never taking no for an answer. She talked about wanting to get to like WWE for so long and just kind of having doors closed and slammed in her face and just having to break those doors down over time. So she was just a great wealth of knowledge.
That's awesome. A lot of companies don't train like social media presence and all that. So that's awesome that she touched on that. Mark says Dane is fun to watch.
I try to keep it entertaining.
I hear you. Same. All right, let's go into your first professional match. Who's your opponent and what were your thoughts during that first match?
Ooh. So my first match was Smiling Jack. It was at Tennessee Championship Wrestling, and it was right before I graduated from Dr. Tom Pritchard's. So it was, I want to say, like my first official wrestling match. I had a few like little stints here and there of like just doing extra work and things like that. But I think that was like the first time where I was actually like in front of a crowd, just in a solo singles match. I felt every nerve in my body in that match. I was so nervous, and even just the basic execution of like certain moves, like my knee would give out or my leg would get out. I was so nervous. But yeah, definitely a lot of nerves going into that match. But I think afterwards, like I was grateful that it was over. But I always told myself I wanted to have one wrestling match. And then after that, I was kind of open to whatever happens. So I had the first wrestling match and I was hungry for more. So I just kept doing it, never stopped.
Awesome. So what has your toughest match been to date, and who was your opponent, and why was the match so difficult?
So I think if I think about toughest opponents, I'm going to go up there with Isaiah Cohn, specifically just because we've had such a long history of being a tag team, but also we have a long history of facing each other in just about every type of match. We just went through a triple threat match for the Southern Heavyweight Championship at TCW this last weekend. And I think every time he and I step in the ring, no matter what match type it is, I think we manage just to beat the hell out of each other. And we don't hold anything back. I think like we have great chemistry, but we also have a lot of love for the business. And I think somewhere in between the love-hate relationship between ourselves and the love for the business, I think it all shows in the ring. So I would say that's probably my toughest opponent.
Okay. Cole Jackson says Dane, such an awesome work.
Yeah, Cole's great.
Cole's a good guy, yeah. All right. People you want to wrestle this year, you haven't wrestled yet.
Yeah. So I recently did a Gabe Sapolsky seminar for like the WWE tryouts, and
that's very good.
So forth. Yeah. And he has a like little application where you kind of put like, you know, famous names you've worked. And I've been lucky to work my coach. So I've wrestled Sin Bodhi once on a live show when I first started. But after that, I don't really have a lot of names. So I think this year my biggest goal, as we get into like the next 6 months, probably just to face anybody that I can put down on that application next time it comes around that says, you know, I stepped in the ring with this big name and I hope I do. So that's my goal.
Now, I was fortunate enough to sit into one of his seminar tryouts as well. What did you learn the most being at your seminar?
Yeah, so with Gabe, I've done, I want to say 3 seminars now. The biggest thing I always learn is just like what WWE is looking for. So everything from body to presentation to standing out.
Right. Okay.
And then a lot of the stuff in ring too. Like I've learned a lot about just kind of like making myself different from everybody else on the card. So with Insane Dane, I know that naturally I stand out because I don't try and approach the matches the same way everybody else on the card will. But at the same time, it's also like my movements, my body language that has to stand out and really catch their attention.
Yeah. that the thing I like about Gabe from when I was at that seminar looking at everything is that the people who have done it before, he gave them like their best improvements and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, 100%.
So you got to keep going to a seminar. That's the one thing I've learned from my friends over there in the business. All right, let's go to Mark's comment. You've been trained by some greats, but if you could sit under a Legends learning tree, who would you choose?
That question, I stole that.
Legends learning tree. All right. Who would you choose to be under that tree?
Be under the tree of legends.
I love that question.
Oh, man. If I had to pick one, it would probably be Stone Cold, Steve Austin.
Okay.
Yeah, just because, I mean, obviously from presentation to being a draw in the business, like I'm sure he has like
right. Okay, awesome. I hope I say his name right. Clyce Nolan said that triple threat match was awesome. My son likes Insane Dane because he helped Juicy James win.
That is true. I did help him win.
Okay, so you got a good fan there, right there. Places you want to go to wrestle. You haven't wrestled them yet.
Yeah, so my eyes are really set on a lot of the bigger promotions. So I'd love to get on Game Changer Wrestling. I've seen a lot of people been able to get on TNA Impact with like Explosion and stuff like that. I'd love to work on TNA. I've done extra work for TNA. I've done extra work for AEW. And even though AEW doesn't have a lot of the shows and stuff they did before for indie talent, I still hope somehow I can kind of break through. And then besides that, just continually working on getting on to New Japan. So I'm in the good graces of New Japan right now because I've done a lot of behind the scenes stuff and ring crew stuff, but I really got to kind of tune things up so when that opportunity comes, I can kick down that door for sure.
Okay. Is one of your goals to go to Japan?
Yeah, I'd love to wrestle in Japan. I'd love to wrestle for New Japan, and I've heard a lot of great things about the promotions that they have out there outside New Japan as well. So just to be able to get that different experience and to travel would be amazing.
Okay. Let's step out of wrestling for a moment. What is Insane Dane's favorite snack to munch on?
Favorite snack? That's a good question.
Especially on the go, because you got to be on the go when you're wrestling.
Yeah, on the go. If I'm in a gas station, the first thing I grab is nuts, like trim, because it's so easy.
Okay.
But I overeat that. But my favorite food probably is pizza when I'm not trying to diet and lose weight.
Gotcha. David is giving you some emojis right there. All right.
Nice.
Serena says, if you choose one person from each of these eras, 80s, 90s, thousands, and present day, who would you choose? Is that to wrestle? Or... Let's say Russell.
Man, if I had to choose one person from every era, I think I'd probably choose Triple H. Triple H was one of my favorites from DX to going back and watching stuff prior to DX once I started to kind of really, once YouTube kind of evolved and we got more.
Mine too. He's like my favorite.
Yeah, I love me some Triple H. I love me some Shawn Michaels. But no, I think anybody from those eras, I'd love to wrestle just because the knowledge that they have is so different than what we have today. And it was such a different time that, I mean, I'd be blessed to wrestle anybody from those eras.
Okay. Favorite hobby? What's your favorite hobby?
Ooh, favorite hobby. So before I was into wrestling, I was a photographer. I love taking photos and I love capturing moments. I love being in the photo pit in front of a concert. I love music, so I like going to concerts as well. So yeah, hobby would be anything from photography to concerts to just about anything.
Photography and concerts. Okay. Who's your favorite artist?
Favorite artist. So I mean, when I was like really into music, I listened to Motionless and White a lot. So it's pretty cool watching like Rhea Ripley bring them out for, I think it was Mania, and do her entrance was really cool. But yeah, right now I enjoy just about a little bit everybody.
Okay. Serena says, my bad, I have to finish that sentence, to form your own stable. Let's take a different step. Let's say, who would you choose to form your own stable nowadays?
Nowadays. So if I had to form a stable.
In the independent scene.
Sorry, one more time.
In the independent scene.
On the independent scene. Okay. Whew. So I have to have myself. So me, I'd probably say Aaron Roberts because Aaron Roberts is a monster. Independent scene, man. There's so many good ones. I'd probably my coach Eli Everfly.
Okay.
Maybe one more. So if I had one more, gosh, I'm gonna have to go with my coaches. My coaches are great. I'm gonna go with
Okay. What about someone as a manager for your group?
someone as a manager for the independent scene. I'm gonna go with Calamity Jane.
Okay. That's quite the group you just formed.
Yeah.
Now, what would you name your group?
Oh gosh. If I name my group, it'd have to be the Insane Beasts.
Okay, all right. It's got insane in there, so that's good.
Yeah, had to work it.
Mark says, anyone as low as Dane chooses Papanek and I as advisors. Oh my gosh. I like the Paul Heyman. Like, I'd be the Paul Heyman of the group.
Yeah, definitely. If it go into not any talent, sure, Paul Heyman would be amazing.
Paul Heyman would be amazing. 100%. All right. Type of match you want to be in, you haven't been in yet.
Sorry, one more time. My audio is breaking up.
No, it's fine. Type of gimmick match you want to be in, you haven't been in yet.
Oh gosh, I've been in a lot. So I've done like no DQ. I've done steel cage. So I'd probably say an Iron Man match.
What's the time limit?
Got to do an hour.
That's 60. Okay. Who would you want to wrestle for that 60-minute?
I think, and I hate to keep using his name, but I think me and Isaiah Cohen could go for an hour.
Okay.
And I think we could have a pretty good match. Yeah.
And what has been your favorite gimmick match to date?
Favorite gimmick match to date? Gosh, there's a lot of good ones. I'd say anything with no rules. So if it's no DQ, I enjoy it. I enjoy using weapons of all sorts and kinds and just kind of entertaining the crowd that way. So yeah, anything with no rules.
Lumberjack match says, guys. Oh man, that would be good. Lumberjack match. Can you name the lumberjack? No, that's going too much into detail.
We'd be here for days. I'd have so many suggestions.
Good stuff. Have you ever been up here to the Northeast?
One more time.
Have you ever been up here to the Northeast? Have you ever wrestled here?
Northeast? No. So I've mainly been to Tennessee. I'm on the West Coast, but I haven't really been Northeast yet.
Is it one of your goals?
Yeah, most definitely. I think anywhere that I haven't been, I'd love to wrestle. I definitely want to branch out and expand and kind of see what's out there.
Okay. Best advice you got in general from someone in the business that you still use to this day?
Yeah, I think the best advice, and anybody else higher or lower on that totem pole, but the best advice that applied to me was with Danhausen. It was fairly early on in my debut of my career, so I was still kind of like figuring things out. And I went to him at like a meet and greet signing type of thing at Starcast, and I had brought up that I was struggling a lot with taking in other people's opinions of what I should be and what I want to be, and trying to figure out how to kind of walk that line. And he pretty much told me that as long as I'm drawing money and as long as I'm happy and the fans are happy, like, keep doing it. So that's allowed me to kind of appreciate when people give me feedback and tell me what they see and what they like, but also remembering that at the end of the day, like, I'm my own canvas, so I have the right to kind of paint it however I want. Yeah. And as long as I'm not hurting anyone else and I'm not hurting myself, then keep chipping away.
That's some good advice Danhausen gave you. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Did you have a match with him though?
No, I pitched it a few different places. I'm just kind of waiting for
the call back.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any merch? Let's talk about merch.
Yeah, so I've got 2 different T-shirt designs. I have one that was made kind of on like the first couple of years of my career, and then the second one is based off the introduction that I have. So it's a front and back shirt, and then I have those 2 different T-shirt designs. Yeah.
Okay. And where can they get these T-shirts?
All my merch is available at my merch table. So at any show that you're at, I'll have T-shirts available. And then if I don't have the right shirt size, or if you want something else I don't have on me, I always ship stuff. So everything's directly through me.
Okay. How did you come up with your name, Insane Dave?
Yeah, Insane Dane came from Santino Brothers. It
Okay.
happened fairly early on when I started training. There was just a kid that was kind of like a know-it-all, and he was always just trying to tell everybody how to do everything, and act like he was better than everybody else. He went over here and trained over there, went over there, trained over there, and something happened in like a practice spot where I was like giving somebody some strikes in the corner. And the guy was I just heard him on the outside, just talking crap. And I was like, you know what, dude, I'm just going to I'm going to light this guy up. So I started to light this guy up in the ring, and everyone just starts chanting, Insane Dane, Insane Dane. So I took it from there, and I pretty much just evolved on the name over time.
Oh, awesome. What has been your best fan interaction to date?
Gosh, there's been some.
Yeah, I mean, you can talk about a couple of them. Maybe a good one and then a bad one.
Oh gosh. So all the good fan interactions that I have are pretty similar, and not to say that they're not different at all, but it's always the people that come up and say like, I've watched you since I first saw you at the show, and I see you now, and it's night and day difference, and you've grown so much and keep going, and I love all those fan interactions, all the positivity that people come to the table with at every show. They're always like, I really enjoyed your match. It was different. It was funny. It was entertaining. My kid really got into it, so on and so forth. So those are all the positive fan interactions that I love. It's just being able to entertain people and just knowing that I'm better than when they last saw me. Bad fan interactions, there hasn't really been many, but
okay.
Yeah, I don't think I can complain on that end. Yeah, I really haven't had too many bad ones where I'm like, oh gosh, that was awful.
What about bad interaction as far as they were like mean to you because of your character?
Oh no one's. I mean, people will talk their trash at the shows and stuff, but they know Insane Dane's the real deal. Yeah.
I heard some good stuff. Oh my god, it's crazy, but it's awesome too at the same time.
Yeah.
I remember I was with my friend. This was before I was even doing a podcast. Just sitting in the crowd. My friend had like this sign he made talking trash to one of the wrestlers. He came over, he punched the fucking sign, and his hand went right through it. And he walked away. And then a year or two later, I got a chance to interview him, starting to do this stuff. I said, I was in the crowd with my friend while you punched that sign. What if it was real glass? Like, you would have had glass all over your hand, bro.
Right.
I wasn't thinking. I was just in the moment.
Yeah, you just never know.
You never know, right? I just thought that was a funny thing, man.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. All right. We'll wrap it up. Goals for 2025. What do you hope to accomplish this year?
Yeah, so goals for 2025. I definitely want to debut for New Japan outside of the New Japan Showcase. So doing anything on one of their pay-per-view events or one of their show events outside of what we do for the Academy. I'd love to do that. Wrestle somebody on a larger stage. So anybody that, has been somewhere and done something that I can put down on an application and say, I've been there and I've done it, would be great. And besides that, just kind of keep on trucking.
All right. Well, I hope you get more names added to your list, man, and keep going to the Gabe seminars.
Yeah, most certainly.
They're very important, and I hope our paths will cross one day.
Yeah, no, I watched the whole reel, and I'd love to be one of those in-person interviews
on the vlog. Yeah,
yeah.
I have met so many people, obviously through here, but on the vlog that are on TV, and I was like, "This is fucking cool."
Yeah.
I'm trying to mark out while not marking it in silence. But I'd love to have you on my blog, and this year I'm hoping to do more traveling. I've got some stuff I've been thinking in my head that I can do so I could travel and have to pay that much. Well, don't have to pay airfare really. So,
right.
But we'll see what happens this year. But hopefully our paths will cross. I got a lot of friends in the Arkansas area that want me to come to their promotion. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. That'd be great.
But I do hope to meet you. Make sure everybody follows Insane Dave over here. Hold on, let's talk about your match coming up. You got going up against Dylan Blake this Saturday at Union City Wrestling. Make sure you get your tickets. Go see Insane Dane. Buy his shirt and anything else he has. help them out. The life of a pro wrestler is not easy, so they're here to entertain all the fans, and they need our help. So helping them is buying their merch. That helps them get to other places where they can be seen and showcase their talents. 100%.
Yes, sir.
Insane day. All right. As for me, what do I got coming up next? I'll be hanging out at NYWC for their ID showcase show. I'm just going to be hanging out on June 8th.
Yeah.
They're very strict on what we can do, so no vlog, but I'll be just hanging out. And Bryce Donovan will be in action. Bryce Donovan, be shook. He'll be in action that day. I will be at Fred or Foe on May 31st for NYWC. It's going to be quite the interesting night. We got all these people wrestling that night, including my pal Man Bun Jesus up there, my good friend Joey Conway. He loves me very much, Joey. And Mike Mistretta will be there, who is excellent technical wrestler. Fantastic. Randy Summers, A1G, Jorge Labastia, Giorgio Lawrence. All of them will be there. NYWC Friend or Pro. Get your tickets, NYWC Pro Wrestling. Also, Amity LeVay, the Starlet Champion, will be going up against the NWA's Kylie Page. That's going to be a banger of a match. Get your tickets, NYWC Pro Wrestling. And if you're looking for female wrestling, make sure you book Amity LeVay. She's accepting bookings for the rest of 2025, and she's looking to travel. So, make sure you check out my good pal Amity coming up on July 12th. I'm going to be part of Rising Stars Women's Wrestling out here at the NYWC Sportatorium. They are presenting Rising Stars Women's Wrestling. We have the GM already in place. Mercedes Martinez will be there. Lulu Lorena coming in from Chicago to Long Island for the first time will be there as well. I'm going to have the poster, the official poster, up tomorrow on tomorrow's podcast. Speaking of which, tomorrow I will have the OCW General Manager Cove coming on. We got a lot to talk about, including some upcoming events and, more stuff for Cove. Whew, my vlog is out now. Dank of the Mat on my YouTube channel. Check out Papa Dank and subscribe on YouTube. I'm hanging out with Man Bun Jesus right there from Exodus Pro. Check this out. And, of course, follow Insane Dane. We had a great time with him on. Joey does not love me. He fucking loves me. Stop it right now. Everybody have a good night. Dane, hold on for